Ferb, I know what we're going to do today. 4 words. And an entire generation instantly knows exactly what show you're talking about. Two stepbrothers, 104 days of summer vacation, and a secret agent platypus nobody in the family seems to notice. Today, we're covering the full story of Phineas and Ferb, how it began, its most bizarre fan theories, and what's actually happening with the brand new season right now. Phineas and Ferb was created by Dan Povenmire and Jeff Swampy Marsh, two animators who'd worked together on shows like Rocko's Modern Life and The Simpsons before pitching their own idea. Povenmire has said his goal was simple: build a show about kids doing genuinely impossible, over-the-top things during summer vacation, the kind of stuff every kid secretly wishes they could pull off. The pitch took over a decade to actually get made. Povenmire first sketched Phineas on a napkin back in 1993, which somehow makes it even more impressive that it became one of Disney's biggest hits once it finally aired in 2007. Every episode follows the same loose formula, and somehow it never gets old. Phineas Flynn and his stepbrother Ferb Fletcher build something absurd and enormous: a roller coaster, a time machine, a working robot army, all before their mom gets home. Their older sister Candace spends the entire episode trying to bust them, and the invention always disappears right before she can prove anything. Meanwhile, their pet platypus Perry secretly moonlights as Agent P, fighting the constantly scheming, weirdly sympathetic villain, Dr. Heinz Doofenshmirtz. Two completely separate plots, running in parallel, colliding by the end of every single episode. What made the show special wasn't just the chaos, it was how tightly written it was. Every episode structure was basically a puzzle box. 3 storylines that always, somehow, snapped together perfectly by the ending. It also wasn't afraid to get genuinely ambitious. Full musical numbers, crossover specials with Star Wars and Marvel, and the surprisingly emotional 2020 film Candace Against the Universe, which gave Candace her most serious character arc yet. Underneath the absurd inventions, there was real heart. A family that constantly bickered, but clearly loved each other. And this is where the internet has spent over a decade going a little bit insane. The most famous one is the Doofenshmirtz time travel theory. The idea that Doofenshmirtz is actually an older version of Phineas himself, who built a time machine as an adult, went back to relive summer with Perry, and specifically fails at every scheme on purpose, just so he gets to keep fighting Perry a little longer without breaking the timeline by revealing who he really is. Then there's the OWCA theory, the idea that the secret agency funding Perry's entire operation actually engineers Phineas and Ferb's wild inventions on purpose, essentially bankrolling the boys' summer so Perry has an excuse to slip away and go fight Doofenshmirtz every single day. And one of the more controversial ones online tried to explain why the boys' inventions always vanish before their mom gets home by suggesting Candace was imagining the entire show from a mental health condition. That theory's been widely picked apart by fans, though, since Phineas and Ferb interact with plenty of other characters, even when Candace isn't around, which the theory can't really explain. Most fans agree the real, much simpler answer is that Perry and Doofenshmirtz's fights are what destroy the inventions right before anyone else can see them. None of these are canon, obviously, but it says something about a kid's cartoon that fans are still building elaborate theories about it over a decade after it first aired. Here's the part longtime fans have been waiting for. After the original series wrapped in 2015, Phineas and Ferb made a surprise comeback with the 2020 film Candace Against the Universe, and the response was strong enough that Disney greenlit a full 40-episode revival. Season 5 premiered in June 2025 with the original cast and creators back on board, and co-creator Swampy Marsh has said the goal was for it to feel completely seamless, like the show never left at all. a companion YouTube series called Cartoonified, plus an 8-episode Perry-focused spin-off called Agent P Undersea have also rolled out alongside it. As for Season 6, fans hoping for it later this year are in for a longer wait. Special Halloween and Christmas episodes are dropping in late 2026, but the full 6th season isn't expected to officially premiere until 2027. There's also reportedly a brand new Phineas and Ferb movie, many in development, likely landing sometime around 2028. So this isn't just nostalgia anymore. This is an actively growing franchise again. If you had to sum up Phineas and Ferb in one line, it's proof that a cartoon can be pure chaotic fun on the surface while still being smart enough underneath to keep an entire internet theorizing about it more than a decade later. Which theory do you actually believe? Or are you just here for the new season news? Let me know in the comments. And if you enjoyed this breakdown, subscribe to Behind the Story for more full histories and theories behind the cartoons that shaped a generation.